Hello, everybody. I had to show you guys just as I went for a walk. As soon as I turned the corner, three deer, the mommy and the two babies, were staring right at me, and I was just thinking about the triple infinity 888 for Lionsgate. We're here live a little early today for Lionsgate. Of course, my name is Rock Castaldo. This is Exploring the Ka channel, and today is the Lionsgate manifestation portal. Now, it's something you need to be very careful about because things can shatter. Everything can change in an instant. And the full moon that we're having, as this Lion's Gate comes to its peak and then winds down, then we come to what, like August 15th is the full moon. And this full moon is in Aquarius, if I'm not mistaken. And this is a powerful, powerful full moon. I don't know, you're just coming in. For those that are just coming in now, right as soon as I started the video, there were three deer, the 888 Infinity. Infinity standing right, just as I'm thinking about the 888 Infinity. I was listening to something about it on my phone for a second, and then I look up and there's three deer just frozen staring at me. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. I really think we started into that age of Aquarius cusp. Some say we're not into the age of Aquarius until like 2045 or even later in the 2100s. But I really think it started early. You know, things were accelerating, and astrologically, I felt that, like, I think it was December 2020 or 2021 when we had that winter solstice great conjunction of the planets. That was really intense, and that was a lot of the Aquarian alignments energy. And Lionsgate, I think it's from technically like the end of the end of July until almost mid-August. So that sort of that thinning of the veil has been open for the last few weeks. Dream times have been intense. Manifestations are really strong. So it's really important, like, what you think about and stuff like that. And plus, a lot of energies, man. I've been, feeling myself get like anger lately about certain things as well. A lot of emotions have been coming up, and I've been trying to be patient with all that as well, especially when you have a little girl around. It's crazy, but I was gonna go live at 8:08. I figured I'd go live a little earlier right now. I'm actually doing a reading with somebody today. They're meeting me over here. A gentleman. I don't really do readings with women in person, unless I already know them. I don't just like random women strangers. Usually, unless they're like, a friend of a friend or something like that, if I'm doing a reading. And if it is, I'll bring my family with me or something because, just for safety reasons and things like that, because you don't know who the hell you're meeting. I'm not just going to meet a stranger. But this guy I've known for a little while now. He's a young man, 10 years or so younger than me. But readings in person are a lot easier for me, at least. You know, And I don't really recommend people do readings online. I recommend you do them privately and maybe go over the results online. Um, a lot of distortions, if you could use that word, distortions and just different psychic tunnels and distortions get in the way, or can latch themselves to you and get attached to your aura. In general, doing that. Arizona Raven, what's up? We haven't seen you a while. What's going on? We can make Chloe's here every day too. Chloe, you should be a moderator by now if you want. You come to every video. I'm walking uphill right now. It's been raining like crazy. I think it's going to be raining all week. This is, in a little while, we're going to be going, I'm going to be getting the crystal skulls out and doing my own crystal skull meditation. I advise everybody to join me too, as well, privately. And then we can go online and go over what the results were and how everybody felt. But at 8 this morning, 8:08, I'm going to be outside. And it's important that people understand that rituals, prayers, aspirations, however you want to look at things, like what you think about, what you're striving for, there's levels of going about it, right? So I don't recommend people trying to get materialistic things through rituals and spell work or advanced forms of spiritual worship that many people think are primitive, but it's just our modern day of looking at things. But it's not bad to ask for abundance of health and wealth if that's what your intentions are. But then at the same time, you have to put the work in to strive towards that. It's not just going to fall on your lap. All right? So you have to sort of help manifest that energy and align yourselves to the right energies coming from the cosmos, right? Every stars, suns, they have specific personalities and traits, and they align with your chart. And the universe as a whole is connected. So the universe as a whole is hearing what you're calling to be. It's feeling your vibration, right? That vibration is absorbed by the sun in our solar system, the emanations coming out of us. And the sun pulls them in, and then the sun attracts energies from other stars. And those streams also come and align with the stream of our sun. And those emanations come back out. And then we absorb them back out. Right? So what we're calling ourselves to be, the stars will reciprocate. But people don't realize that sometimes what the vibration that's coming out you is not what you really should be. It's wrong, right? It's not what you should be intending. Move over. It's really been, people don't realize all weather comes from the sun. Storms, lightning, weather patterns, it all has to do with the sun in our solar system, and they're going to find out in the future that incoming plasmas from other suns and stars have a lot to do with our sun as well. In fact, we have a spot that we're going to get into on the next Space Border podcast that was take a deeper psychic look at, and I was shown a lot of things that have to do with a lot of ancient Vedic prophecies, Nephilim prophecies, and the Vedic wars. And in the ancient Vedic writings, they talk about the clash of light and dark, of the different sides. They talk about the ancient Vedic wars and the Asura and the Deva clans, right? And ultimately, it was about advanced forms of worship and advanced knowledge about the universe that ancient bloodlines held. Ancient humans, ancient sentient beings that once lived on Earth and throughout the universe, they were harnessing energies, information, powers, however you want to describe it, from the sun and other stars. And they had a quest to be a star, to be immortal, with immortal power like that. And even stars are not immortal, so to say. They have they go through supernova explosions, they go through transitions, and they go through different stages, right? But there's now certain stars that have almost achieved certain aspects of what we can call immortality. And some of them are existing right in the center of our Milky Way. And this was the whole reason for the Vedic war, was to harness the plasma, harness the light of the universe to achieve immortality, to extend the light to achieve immortality. The Vedic wars are literally, they write it that it was over the spotted cows, right? The spotted cows translate as the rays of the light. And they were fighting over these rays of the light to extend the light to achieve immortality, right? So they literally realized that, I don't know if it's at the moment of death always, or there's a way even without dying to move into a higher state of matter, another state of matter after death, right? Where literally you have a magnetic duplicate, a soul, and after death, your vapor could be considered a type of plasma matter, right? And after death, your soul can see what we can only see now with certain telescopes and different things that we have that detects plasma and things like that in space, right? We can't see it with our physical eyes, but we have certain spectrums of light that can detect it, right? Well, when we're in, when we die in this physical reality, our souls can see that. Our souls see another level of matter, right? And we can travel within this plasma ocean with our souls. But we've lost the coordinates of the afterlife, after death. We are stuck in first this ego light, right? There's different levels of the light. Some of the light is connected still to the earth. It's absorbed by earth energies, a lot of the stuff that's stuck within your soul, coded on your soul, right? But if you can find your way through that sludge, literally, you have to make your way into the magnetosphere around Earth. And that is a very dynamic landscape with different regions within it. It's a plasma stargate where it's connected to not just our sun, but other streams of plasma coming in from other suns and stars. And they are gateways of light. And you can ride on these bridges of light. You can absorb particles from supernova explosions and different places as your soul is calling what it's be. It can attract particles. And this is talked about by even the Pharaoh Unas in the pyramid texts. It's talked about in a lot of ancient Vedic writings very eloquently as well. This is why they call the golden noose of the Pasha this coronal loop. The solar deity wields this noose to lasso souls and pull them off of Earth and pull them into the celestial waters. Right? And we've lost our connection to the afterlife. Right? And most of us, we get attracted to the light that has to do with our ego and a lot of the stuff that we've sent out, that we've absorbed back. And the light will teach you lessons after death. You know, when someone wants to, oh, when I die, all of a sudden you want to be around your ancestors, you want all the knowledge of the universe and questions answered that you've always had, right? That's all ego stuff. So the light will manifest that for you. You'll get attracted to these alluring lights, and you think you're having a reunion with your ancestors for eternity when you're literally stuck in some earth trap realm. That's not heaven. You're not progressing spiritually now. You're just stuck there having a reunion in your mind, in your psyche, right? In your soul, in one of your soul layers. You're having a reunion eternally with your ancestors, just high-fiving Sammy Davis Jr. and stuff in some simulated reality. You're not progressing spiritually. You're stuck in limbo. You're in a purgatory, brother. That's all ego. You want to enjoy yourself now, right? Well, just because you die doesn't mean you're going to get answers to things, and you're still going to have to go to work. Look at what? You don't usually see geese in August. Look at a big V, too. They are the cosmic honkers, man. They're, you know, any water bird, you know, birds that go in the water, they have to do with the cosmic waters as well. And most of them that go in the water, they have crooked necks, like the coronal mass ejection loop coming from the cosmic waters. And when the sound of those coronal mass ejection electrons come into our magnetosphere, they make the same sounds as geese and different birds, right? So these are symbolism that have to do with cosmic waters and the sun. This is why they have the solar swan with his crooked neck, right? And he's carrying the cosmic waters. It took me many years to actually come to that revelation and be shown that. They are talking about the electron-driven chorus when they're talking about the birds, the water birds. When you have solar mythology that has to do with ducks and swans and geese and all sorts of, even the night birds that have to do with the sun at night, like the owl and the raven and things like this. All these birds are used in solar mythologies. It's incredible. Ra, the creators here. And they're used. You'll see them. They'll be used in the woodpecker, the hoopoo bird, the cuckoo bird, starlings. I've talked about it before. They all the magnetic fields around Earth. Birds have magnetite in them, some of them in their brains, and they follow the magnetic field lines, and they broadcast the music coming from the sun that's in our magnetosphere. And the dolphins and the whales, they do that as well in the oceans. Bird song and whale song get broadcast. They broadcast the electron, and this is what maintains the balance and harmony of the harmonic fields. So literally, the sun is sending light codes down, right? Plasma streams. The electrons and photons, as they get absorbed and they penetrate our magnetic shield, they broadcast a music, a chorus. They call it an electron-driven chorus that's coming from the plasma waves around Earth, right? And this chorus, of course, birds, they sense in a very intuitive way the magnetic field. They're connected to it, right? And same with dolphins and whales. And they're feeling in a very instinctual way this music, the sound of the light, literally, right? And they broadcast it. And plants, all living creatures hear this, and they know it's time to get up and absorb the light coming in, so we can grow and flourish and be alive, right? So literally, the whales, even in the dolphins, even beneath the waters, they sense what's the music in the magnetic field, and they broadcast it. And you'll have the algae and everything underneath the waters receiving the light coming down in, you know, and they still receive the light from the sun, right? Same thing with the trees, the flowers. They have certain things like cells called stomata. As they hear this frequency, those cells open up and they receive the light. And it's like a warrior's dance every morning. The birds broadcast an hour before dawn or so. It's time to get up and receive the light from the sun. And all the plants start awakening and budding and opening up, ready to receive the light. The dendrites of the trees are literally like a big neural network, ready to receive. And they're sending out impulses, what kind of light they need. And the light reciprocates and sends it down. Our neural network in our brain is very similar to the tree, and very similar to a string of plasma and stars. So what we come out of us, what's coming out of the spinal current of our bodies and our bioenergetic fields that we have, what comes out of that is heard and absorbed and sent back the appropriate light that we're calling out for. And Lionsgate right now is one of those times where that veil is very thin and the cosmos is hearing you. And right now, with this full moon coming on August 15th, we have an explosive energy, right? And we're going to have global volcanic eruptions. We're going to have global earthquakes. We're going to have global explosions. We're going to have globally people's life changing in an instant. Look at, you hear the dog barking right when I said that? He's like, "Yup, brother, that's true." That's confirmation right there. Whenever you have like a thought that comes out, it's an old Italian lore as well, in the Mediterranean. If you're saying a prayer, or even like you're doing a meditation for an intention or a materialization, you're trying to manifest something, and right as soon as you're done doing the manifestation thought or prayer, or however you want to call it, right? When you're done, if a short time later you hear like the barking of a dog, or the croak of a frog, or something like this, it's like confirmation for it. But if you just hear dead silence for like a while, you know there's a stalemate, or the answer is no, sort of, for now, right? The same thing with, like, it used to be like, if you're done saying the prayer or something like that, and then you see like a white hearse, I mean a white car, a white horse drive by, or a black hearse. A black hearse would mean, of course, that's a bad sign. But like a white horse or something go by, or a white cat or something like that would be a good thing. But nowadays, I guess, if like people would say, hey, if right when you're done, if you saw a white car pass, that would be maybe a good sign, or a black car could be a bad sign. Some people have those spiritual signs that they're attuned to, but I like to do it more with nature. You know, I listen for certain things, and a lot of times, if you hear a dog barking, right as soon as you say something, it's like confirmation. It's like approval from nature. Very interesting. Alexander, welcome, Alexander. Yeah, right when we started, Alexander's getting a whole big package of shamanistic tools. Let me see. I'm gonna have to go. Oh shoot! I only got 5% left on my phone. What's up, brother? Let me do this for Chloe before I forget. So definitely, I'll be live. I'm gonna go live after the 8 o'clock, but at 8:08, it's a really powerful time. I'll be doing a manifestation, prayer, and thought for the world, and for, you know, our collective consciousness, our communities, our families, and it's trying to manifest abundance, wisdom, a collective change. Right? Don't be afraid to think big. And unfortunately, most people are just looking for themselves. Right? Like, I don't even want to comment about some of the field. I regret even having the guy Brad Olson on my show recently, like a couple of months ago. All those dudes, bro, they're only about money. All of them. I'm not like, yeah, I need money for my family, of course. I would like to have more money, of course, but man, I'm not kissing ass and selling out like that. These guys are bend over for money. All of them. And some of them are big dudes, 6'3", 6'4", big good looking guys, and they're bitches. I'm 5'9" on my best day. And more of a man than all of them, and I know it. So, but whatever, it's all good. I've been really, unfortunately, I get looped in with all of these people and like that talk about esoteric or mythology or ancient writings. I kind of get looped in with a lot of people, and because I've talked about some of my personal experiences, I get looped in as being in some of the crazy categories as well. But I really don't talk about conspiracies, or I don't consider it conspiracies or anything like that. You know, it's unfortunate that there's all these different people that are sensationalizing their mental issues, like it has to do with aliens or things like this, and it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. I would say that 95% of the people that speak on these shows are clueless. I mean, I could give you an example. I stopped commenting on Facebook and stuff like that recently for good. Like, I'm not, but like, there's certain people that post on Facebook that are in the community and that are respected and considered experts on like ancient sites and Egypt and things like that. And then the other day I posted something like a comment, and they were like, "What's Asura mean?" And this is a lady that's damn near 70 years old. I'm not going to say her name. She speaks all over the world about Egypt, and she's been on CBS. She's had TV shows in the past, right, on TV. And she didn't even know what the word Asura was, or Asar. And Asar is the original name of Osiris. And if you're an expert on Egypt, if you've even been just going a little bit more than the average person into ancient Egyptian writings, you come across Asar and the real name from Osiris, because Osiris is the Greek name they gave him, right? That's not what he was called in ancient Egypt, Osiris. He was Asar and Natar, or there's different forms of Asar, the name with Asar. You know, and Asar comes from the Asura of Vedic, right? And it doesn't, you know, and I'm like, oh my God. And then she got all offended that I gave her a little bit of a history lesson. I'm like, how do you not know what Asura means? You're speaking, like, you're charging people thousands of dollars to even go on. Like, it's crazy. It is crazy. And most people, they'll read like Zecharia Sitchin's book, and then go on a podcast and talk about like they're an expert in translating in knowledge about the past. Like, people nowadays, people are so misinformed and low level that people are being awarded just for remembering something they read. They're being celebrated because, oh, congratulations, you read a book and you retain the information, because majority of the world hasn't read a book like that. They think it's some new information, when like 95% of the people that you hear out there, they're either repeating what they heard from somebody else, or they're sensationalizing their own bullshit, right? Or something like that. Like, not many people come out with new real information and translations. Not many people do. That's why when Zecharia Sitchin did write his series of books, it was like a new flavor to some of it, you know? But it's crazy. I would say like most people are just repeating something they heard and things like that. And you know, a lot of people, not everybody from Gaia TV are researchers and those places. They hire people to read cue cards, you know. There's a lot of people are actors. And with Ancient Aliens, yeah, that's just for TV too. Most of them are researchers. I know a lot of them, but they don't get paid well to do that. And it's for entertainment, for TV. It doesn't mean it's truth. The one good thing about Ancient Aliens is it brings some attention to some of the ancient sites and ancient history about some cultures that a lot of people would never find out about. But I don't agree with the theories and a lot of the things that they're saying. I mean, unfortunately, like I said, 95 to 99% of the people that's saying this translation or this symbol means this, they're completely wrong. Even I was wrong for many, many years about a lot. I'm still wrong about some of it. I'm not saying I'm right, but I know certain things that I am right about, or that I'm on the right track. If it's not exactly 100%, it's on like you're in the same ballpark with it. I'm in the same ballpark as what the original intentions were. And most